Do you believe that just one stranger could save 2 lives from the edge of death? Today's story of LyTuCam reveals a terrifying secret, one that nearly claimed the lives of a mother and her child, until a special benefactor appeared just in time. Lately, life for LyTuCam and her little daughter Shoai has slowly become more stable, though hardship still lingers. Every morning, the young mother tries to set aside a few precious moments to play with her child. Little Shoai is gentle and cheerful, babbling as she learns to speak, bursting into laughter each time they chase one another around the small house. Watching her daughter's innocent joy, LyTuCam feels a quiet happiness welling up inside. She often whispers to herself, "No matter how hard life gets, I must keep going." For her, here in these mountains, if I give up, who else can we rely on? But behind those tender smiles hides a deep and endless exhaustion. That day, she went about her chores as usual, cleaning, cooking, washing, without a single pause. She wanted their humble home to be neat and warm, a safe haven for little Shoai. Yet before she could rest, a sudden wave of dizziness struck. Her ears rang, her vision darkened, and her legs gave way. In an instant, LyTuCam collapsed onto the cold floor. When she opened her eyes, LyTuCam found herself lying on the cold kitchen floor, her whole body limp, her head pounding like thunder. But what broke her heart most was the sight before her. Little Shoai sitting silently on a small chair, clutching her stuffed bear, her big round eyes wandering the room in quiet fear, as if waiting for someone to walk through the door. The house was eerily silent. If no one had passed by at that moment, who would have heard her faint breathing? Who would have protected that small, innocent child? Fortunately, Nam, a kind man who had helped the mother and daughter once before, appeared like a miracle. He had just returned from work, carrying a few things in his hands. The moment he reached the door, he sensed something was wrong. A silence too heavy to be normal. He saw little Shoai sitting motionless and called her several times, but received no reply. A wave of fear washed over him. He hurried inside to look for LyTuCam. As soon as he opened the kitchen door, he froze. There she was, lying motionless on the cold tile floor. Without a moment's hesitation, Nam rushed forward and knelt beside her, calling her name in panic. The moment he touched her skin, he felt the burning heat of a fever spreading through her body. Alarmed, he quickly lifted her into his arms, holding her tightly while softly telling little Shoai, "Stay here with me, sweetheart. Be good, okay?" His voice trembled, yet carried a steady calm, the kind that gave strength in a moment of fear. At that instant, he became the silent hero who saved both mother and child. He hurriedly soaked a towel in cold water and placed it on her forehead, then rushed to the kitchen to prepare a warm pot of rice porridge with egg. When he brought it back, he patiently fed her spoon by spoon, afraid she might not even have the strength to swallow. Through the haze of fever and delirium, LyTuCam could only faintly hear his deep, soothing voice. "Try to eat a little. You'll need your strength to get better." And his care didn't stop there. Seeing that little Shoai was hungry, he opened the cupboard, found some milk, and gently prepared it for her. He smiled kindly as he handed the bottle to the child, comforting her with quiet words. A man burdened with work and responsibilities, yet in that fleeting moment, he set everything aside, just to save a struggling mother and her child, alone and fragile in the depths of the mountains. It wasn't just his words of concern. Nam also brought practical help. He gave LyTuCam a fully charged, rechargeable lamp and said gently, "If the power goes out, this will keep you and your daughter safe and calm." He even promised to find a way to rewire the house so their small home would be brighter and safer. On his free days, he helped her clear the path, cut down the old bamboo stalks, and clean up the yard until everything looked neat again. To most people, these might seem like small things, but to Lytucam, they were a whole sky of peace, because every single gesture carried genuine care, warm and heartfelt, far more meaningful than any words could ever be. Nam often reminded her softly, "Now that you have a stable place to live, take things slowly. Don't push yourself too hard anymore." Those simple words left Lytucam speechless. Then he added, with a calm sincerity, "If fate allowed us to meet today, then it must be for a reason. As long as you and your daughter are safe, I can be at peace." What touched her most was the promise he made to little Shoai. When he heard Lytucam whisper that she would work hard so her daughter could go to school one day, he smiled and said, "When Shoai is old enough for school, I'll personally take her there and handle all the paperwork. You don't have to worry about a thing." Those words brought tears to her eyes. For a single mother like her, the future of her child was the heaviest burden. And in that moment, it felt as though half of that weight had been lifted from her heart. In the days that followed, Nam continued to visit. He would sit and play with little Shoai, teaching her how to take her first steps, lifting her up to play airplane, and singing cheerful songs that filled the small house with laughter. While Lytucam rested on her bed, she watched them with quiet gratitude welling up inside. Her heart felt warm, filled with an emotion she couldn't quite put into words. In a life full of storms and hardship, sometimes all it takes is one person who stops, one hand reaching out at the right moment to save an entire life. Amid grand projects and the chaos of daily life, there still exists a person willing to set everything aside, just to protect a mother and her little child in a quiet, remote village. Thanks to Nam's timely arrival, Lytucam and her daughter overcame the brink of death and found their way back to a peaceful smile. This story is not about miracles. It is a testament to the power of human kindness, to a silent hero who seeks no glory, but simply wishes to bring light and peace to those around him.
Chúng ta vừa cùng nhau đi qua một hành trình nhỏ nhưng lại chất chứa rất nhiều cảm xúc, từ những nỗi buồn, những giọt nước mắt và đến cả những khoảnh khắc bình yên, giản dị vô cùng quý giá. Cảm ơn bạn đã đồng hành và lắng nghe đến tận những giây phút cuối cùng. Mỗi một lượt xem, mỗi một ánh mắt dừng lại, mỗi một trái tim cùng đồng cảm đều là nguồn động lực để cho những câu chuyện như thế này được tiếp tục viết nên. Nếu cuộc sống còn bộn bề, đôi khi chỉ cần những giây phút lắng lại, ta sẽ nhận ra rằng niềm tin, lòng nhân ái và sự sẻ chia luôn có sức mạnh chữa lành kỳ diệu. Và cũng chính nhờ có bạn, người không ngại dành thời gian quý giá để đồng hành, mà hành trình của những vật trong câu chuyện này trở nên trọn vẹn hơn, ấm áp hơn. Dù phía trước vẫn còn nhiều chông gai, nhưng chỉ cần trái tim con người biết hướng về nhau thì bóng tối nào cũng sẽ được soi sáng bởi một tia hy vọng. Xin gửi đến bạn lời cảm ơn chân thành nhất. Hẹn gặp lại các bạn trong các tập tiếp theo, nơi câu chuyện còn tiếp tục mở ra và những bước chân kiên cường, luôn mơ ước lặng lẽ và niềm tin chưa bao giờ tắt. Cảm ơn các bạn rất nhiều. Chúc các bạn luôn bình an.